Raintown.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Talking Raintown. We're at NATO class. Today we're going to talk about a major thing. We're going to talk about pillars. Pillars, right? Everyone talks about how to create business. We're going to talk about how to do that. So somebody tell me, what is a pillar?
Well, it's a sustainable way of creating business, and there are a bunch of different options for that, but it's a pillar. It's something that you can rely on to provide business for you, and you need to have several of them, right? A stool doesn't stand on one pillar. It stands on at least three, ideally four.
Very good. Pillar is a way to get business. It's a regular way of getting business, something you can count on, right? That's an idea. Someone give me an idea of some pillars. Let's start on this side. Mr. Jared, give me an idea of a pillar.
Open houses.
Give me an idea of one. Take the mic. What is one?
Networking.
Give me another one.
Zillow leads.
Another one.
Geofarms.
Thank you. Give me another one.
People farms.
People farms. I love people farms. People farms is my very favorite. Let's talk about the first steps in defining and getting a pillar. First thing you got to do is figure out what your pillar is going to be, right? Right? How come you didn't say social media?
Well, social media is not a pillar.
Why is that?
It is something that you can use to supplement and augment your pillar, and it's a mechanism to be able to kind of get the word out, but in and of itself, it's not a pillar.
Very good.
It's a tool.
Very good. It is a tool, and you all have to do it. You all have to do social media. Why do you have to do social media? Because it is social proof that you actually are who you say you are. You got to do it. To you guys who say, I don't like to be in front of a camera, shut up. Just do it. Everyone wants to know who you are. They want to know you're human. They want to know you screw up. They want to know that you're not perfect in front of a camera. Just shut up and do it. But that's another story for another day. All right, so now that we've defined what our pillar is going to be, next step, we are going to
Figure out who your audience is.
figure out who your audience is. Now, sometimes it seems pretty easy, right? But why do we need to really define an audience?
Importantly, you need to know how to add value to them and their lives.
Very good. Now, we talk a little bit about social media and how it's going to help you out with your pillar and that sort of thing. You have to know your tribe. You have to know the people who are going to appreciate what you're doing, right? Let's say that you're doing geofarming. You know, that one's pretty easy. You think about who your client's going to be. You're going to look at an area. You're going to say, I need an area that has at least a 5% turnover rate every year. Someone doesn't have a dominant agent in there. That's going to be really easy target market. But let's say you're doing something like an open house. You want to be the open house king of the world. Woo! What do you do? You do open houses all over the world? What do you do to become an open house king or queen? What do you do? Jared, give me an idea.
You got to come up with something unique, something that stands out to you. Branding, personal branding, something that's going to continue to draw not only new people, but the old people that you've met and seen as well.
Right. To draw a specific audience who's going to dig what you're doing, right?
Yep.
Right? Someone want to add something to that?
One thing I was going to say was maybe pick a specific neighborhood and learn all about it and try to host multiple open houses in there so that people see your signs multiple times. They start to see your name out there as a possible strategy for having open houses as your pillar.
Very good. Should you be branded the open house person? Should you be branded?
If that's your pillar,
I'm
yeah.
the open house guy. I'm the open house king. Whatever it might be, right?
Yeah,
Should be
I would say
branded that,
so.
right?
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, you want to make sure you're handing out flyers and things, just saying, hey, it's me. Define your audience is one of the very most important parts of this. And this is where almost everybody goes wrong. They want their audience to be everybody, and not everyone is your tribe. You know, you might be super cool, but not everyone's going to think you're super cool. You need to find the people, besides your parents, who think that you're super cool, and that becomes your tribe. You will naturally just do things that's going to attract those people. Right? Super important in defining your audience. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to talk about marketing. How are we going to market to these people? Specifically, how are we going to market to these people? Once you know what your tribe is, once you know what your people are, how are you going to market to them?
Well, first of all, like you said, you have to know them, right? What interests them, what's going to catch their attention. And then your efforts have to focus on connecting with them somehow, right? And it's not just, hey, I'm a great real estate agent, you should use me. It's connecting on a personal level and creating, you know, either a direct relationship or a long-term relationship so people recognize your face, recognize your name. And when the time comes, they're like, oh, who's that guy? Greg's that guy. That's right, because you connect with them, and so you use this is where you can use your social media as a tool. You can use traditional marketing to send mailers out to people. If you do things like that, it's just got to be sustainable. It's all got to be sustainable and consistent, right?
Yeah.
And so that's an advantage of social media over traditional mailers or magazine advertising, is that social media gives you the opportunity to reach those people at a lower cost, but it also requires more effort on your part, right? It's really easy to just make a flyer and have somebody mail it for you 3 times a month. It's a lot tougher to have a consistent presence where you're constantly connecting.
Very good. So you mentioned the pillar of a people farm. And people don't talk about a people farm, but it's one of my I love people farms. And it's basically you say this, I have a son with autism, right? And so one of my people farms can be people who have kids with autism. We have something in common. We can go to the same groups together. We have the same interests. We have the same worries. We have the same things in our life going on. So when I am marketing to them, when I market to them, they need to know that we have something in common. So it won't just be, this is Rob, and I'm super cool, and I sold a home down the street, and so I can sell yours too. Look at me go. It's going to be like, I understand what it's like to move with a kid with autism. I understand what it's like. I can relate to them in a way that's going to make sense. This is my tribe. These are the people that are going to understand me, and they're going to know I understand them. It needs to be that personal. It needs to be that specific, because when you do that, boom, you got them. It doesn't have to be autism. It can be anything. That's why people farms are so cool. Someone's in the same situation. Maybe it's the fact that they have a 5-year-old son. 5 or 6?
5.
5, still 5. Yeah. He just had a birthday. Just turned 5, right? Yay, I got something right. Right? Maybe it's someone in your same position. You got to look at that sort of thing. And that's the advertising that you have to have. Are there certain scripts you need to know? You're going to have to learn something. You should take the time to make sure you know that before you move forward. Next thing, what you want to do. I'm going to tell you, this is super important. It's another place where people fail. You need a calendar. You need a calendar of execution, right? You need to know when you're going to do what. Because when you don't do that, what happens?
You probably aren't going to do it.
You probably aren't going to do it. You're going to have something that's a little more popular that day. I'm going to say, well, sleeping in might be a little more important. Maybe you're going to say, well, I got someone who wants to look at a house, so I'm going to forget about it. And all of a sudden, it's gone. And those 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks that you've been putting into this, all of a sudden it's gone. When it's on your calendar, it happens. Am I right? True. Right? When it's on your calendar, do you do it? Yeah? That's how you work a successful pillar. And then you have to be extremely consistent. Right? Don't change your branding. Don't change your stuff. Just keep it really consistent. Keep reaching out. And what's the goal of a pillar? How many deals should you get out of it a year?
8 to 10.
8 to 10, right? Your first couple of years, you should get 8 to 10, and after that, you can get unlimited. Right? Does that make sense to everybody? Right? Everyone ready to start a great pillar?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What's your pillar?
I'm going to be working with rescue animals.
Rescue animals. What's your pillar?
Networking is my pillar.
Network. What's your pillar?
Dinner parties.
Dinner parties. I love that one too. What's your pillar?
Open houses.
Open houses. What's yours, Greg?
Networking in people farms.
Networking and people farms. Appreciate y'all. Let's kill it this year, okay? Let's go. All right, here. Bring it in. All right, ready? Rain time. Thanks, guys. A pillar. A pillar is how you get consistent business. Let's go. Bam.